Welcome back to the No Judgment Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. How we doing, boys?
What up, what up?
Pretty chilling.
A lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, boy. Should we just hop into it, or we got any opening bell thoughts for the pod? What's the bird?
I think we get right into it. We got a lot to talk about.
All right, we do. Just precursor, we got Eagle FC going on in the background. Maybe give it some live reaction. That was a brutal knee by the Brazilian guy here. So, yeah, you might hear some crazy shit going down. You might not, but that's the beauty of Friday Night Pods. And let's get it cracking.
Let's do it. We want to kick it off with what we had this morning, One Lights Out.
Let's get right into it. I love me some one championship. Talk to me. You was
normally Nil will usually take most of the one championship, but
today's your time to shine, fam.
Correspondent, or I guess a credentialed media reporter, I was part of the post-fight press conference for one championship.
Moving up in the world.
We got some really cool interviews. Got a couple questions off to Martin Wynn and the new champion, John Lineker, and the current champ, Tom Lee. But let's get into this card. So right off the bat, what was exciting, and I always say it, you can go back on YouTube, watch the full one championship cards. This is one you probably want to go back and watch. There was 10 fights on this card. The first one went to decision. The rest were knockouts. 9 straight knockouts.
Love it.
A guy just kicked it off. Muay Thai Liam Nolan out of England got a knockout first round.
Let's go.
And 50K. Iman Barlow got a knockout. Echo Ronnie Saporia. This dude actually got a sub. Sorry, there was 9 finishes. But he actually got a sub. This dude's a nasty wrestler. This guy, keep your eye out for this. Echo Ronnie Saputra, sorry.
Echo Ronnie Saputra, huh?
Dude, elite wrestler, and basically he's kind of like almost a Russian style where he starts kind of working to one side and smothering you, and then he just gets to your back and it's over. Like, this dude's a problem. And that was for the lead card. On the main card, Zhang Pinmian, this guy out of China, he's only 18 years old, got a second-round knockout over Josh Tona. This cat might be like China's like big ticket in one championship. Like, this kid's only 18 and his shit's already crisp as fuck. Like, has a long way to go. But
what was this in? Kickboxing fight?
Kickboxing, yeah. Super.
They need some blood. They need some. Yeah, they need another kickboxing guy to come through.
Yeah,
come through the ranks.
And then a really interesting knockout by Adrian Matthijs over Alex Silva. Alex Silva was an elite grappler, got him to the ground, tried to, get into a grappling, and then he eventually just got sacked up and knocked out.
Sheesh.
Then a very interesting one that I actually saw Twitter was going pretty wild on. Iraj Azapor out of Iran fought Ismail Lond in kickboxing. This was a catch weight because Lond was 10 pounds overweight at heavyweight. Lond came in at 273. The limit in one championship's 264. So Iraj was 263, had 10 pounds, about 5 inches on him, and the little guy knocked him the fuck out. So, big man fell hard.
Okay.
Iraj Azapor is a problem at heavyweight kickboxing. I think he might be nearing a title shot very soon.
Yeah, I mean, the heavyweight division needs depth in one. It's sort of lacking, but that's also what makes it exciting at the minute, though, is that, like, anybody can, with a quick 1 or 2 viral knockouts or a quick impressive finish, you can skyrocket. And so, like, couple fights, you can win the belt and build some name for yourself. So, yeah, I definitely like that shout.
And then another sick fight. Martin Wynn, one of the guys that was on the post-fight presser, he absolutely beat the dog shit out of Kirill Gorobets. Kirill Gorobets is out of Ukraine, but I will say, even though he lost and lost in resounding fashion, that fight should have been a minute, and it was 14 minutes and 45 seconds. Like, this dude just kept getting, like, knocked out and getting up. So, showing that Ukrainian toughness, like, he never gave up until basically the ref made him when he went to a knee finally for the, like, 7th time in the 3rd round. But
so Martin wins a problem and put her on him.
Huh?
Martin wins a problem and put her on him.
Yeah, he was the first ever 2-division champion in one championship. And then he lost to Ton Lee and lost his belt. And he talked a lot in the press conference about how he was in a really dark place for the last 2 years after getting, like, what he called, like, 2 embarrassing losses. And he just seemed like he was in a much better, like, headspace and everything. And one of the questions I asked him was, like, what is, he's obviously had a long career. He's had, I believe, 12 or 13 fights in one championship. So he's one of the kind of grassroots guys, like I said, first 2-division champion. And I asked him, what's the difference now to when you showed up at one championship? And he said the biggest difference is that he used to truly hate his opponents. Like he said, Ton Lee, like, he hated him. Like, he truly hated him going into that fight. And now he thinks, like, through his family and just, like, growing up and being a little less, like, egotistical and stuff, like, he just understands, like, the competition of it. And he's like, yeah, when your cage door closes, like, we're going to go at it. But it's a much different, like, respect. And he said that hatred, while it can, like, fuel you, he was focusing almost more on that than he was the actual fight.
Interesting.
So I'm really interested. His game in the cage looks completely back. He was throwing these nasty 3-punch combos with basically, like, it was just 1-2 to the head, and then he was finishing with these nasty body shots. So I'd really like to see him get back in that mix. Ton Lee, not to jump around, but he in his post-fight conference talked about that he would be open to a rematch to Martin Nguyen because he believes that he's one of the top in this division and he wants to fight the best. So before we do get to Ton Lee, there was another belt on the line, the Bantamweight World Championship. The 11-time defending Bibiano Fernandez lost to the former UFC great John Lineker. I say great in quotes.
I saw the highlights.
UFC, but
bro, you could hear that shit through everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, they call him Hands of Stone for a reason. He's a problem. They might want to drug test him, but he's a problem. But that's a different story. But again, he's a problem,
right? And it's very interesting because obviously this was one of the divisions that clearly has a lot of talent for one championship, but Bibiano hadn't defended the belt in almost 2 years, partially for what initially was kind of one championship's fault for like a year or so. They had like scheduling and contract issues. Then there was COVID issues. Then there was some injuries. Like, there's just been a multitude of things. So he basically hadn't fought since, I believe it was 2020. And
did it show?
So that showed not really. Like, for an 11-time champion, I mean, yeah, he got knocked out, but like, it was a fucking cracker of a fight. He was into it. He got, he had some ground game that looked pretty good. Lineker had some pretty good defense on that, which was very impressive. Like,
okay.
And then by the second round, he got up, has to start back on the feet. And like you said, it's Hands of Stone, new champ.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got absolute nukes in his fists. And so if he can just back people against the cage like he usually does and just start throwing haymakers, it's a problem for anybody. Now, where I want to see is, can somebody take this guy down? Can someone put him on his back and really put him in proper trouble positions?
And that was kind of where I thought Bibiano would be the favorite in it. And when you really look at their at the people behind him, Quan Wan, Steven Lomon, Fabricio Andrade. He's kind of a jiu-jitsu guy. And then Kevin Bellinon.
Striker,
most of them are strikers. So
Andrade's
it's going to
definitely
be
a striker.
Yeah. And it's going to be so electric title fights in the near future. But I don't know. I think Lineker could defend a couple times.
All right, but let's hop into it.
The main event, Ton Lee versus the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wizard in Gary Tonin, the Lion Killer.
Boy, he said he was the Mike Tyson of grappling. And yeah, I mean, he does. He trains with John Danaher in the Hit Squad, and he's very much into that leg lock realm and just fucking, if you give me an opportunity to take your leg, I will tear it apart. Now, he fought Ton Lee, striker through and through. But the catch here is Ton Lee has been training with Ryan Hall. That completely changes everything. Ton Lee has some actual legit leg lock defense, and it showed in this fight. He needed a little bit leg lock defense to get out of something. And when he got out of that, he threw some right haymakers to the ground, and it was lights out for the Lion Killer.
Yeah, that was something that he really emphasized in his presser. He was like, yeah, none of those strikes are possible without Ryan Hall. He's like, what he taught me with defense, positioning, being able to just take a little bit of pressure off you, put a little pressure on the lock, like those little things gave him just that inch of space to be able to just rain hell.
And also another factor is, too, Gary Tonin, that's his shit. He's going for it. So his hands are locked on this leg. Mm-hmm. He's not defending his face. And wham, here comes two right hands.
Right.
Like, so.
Yeah, much different from like a wrestling or a traditional like MMA guard, you know?
Correct.
That's a little different. But yeah, if you got that leg locked up and but Ton Lee is an absolute problem. And something else I really respected. So I asked him, now that he has the belt, is there anywhere he would want to defend it, like a dream venue? And he said he has to fight in Vietnam. His family's originally from there. He said the fans deserve it. Like, that's just an electric crowd, and I agree with him. And then he did also say that he would love to fight somewhere in the U.S. eventually, and that's probably a little more realistic soon. So definitely want to see him over here. And then I also asked him, I was like, hey, 5 straight knockouts, now a couple title defenses, like, can anyone strike with you? And it's sick because he's kind of arrogant where he says he's the best in the world. But when I said that, he was like, oh, yeah, no, these guys can strike with me. Like, these are the best athletes in the world, and any one of them can catch me at any moment. And I got to stay ready. Like, I think I'm good enough to beat anyone. But, like, and he's like, the only difference is now I got the strap, I have the control. And he's like, I can use that power for good or evil. He's like, some people use it for evil and pick the best matchups and try to just, get a couple belts to hang up in their gym. He's like, I'm going to use it for what I consider good. Like, I want to get the best athletes, the best matchups. And he even said he was open to cross promotion. He's like, I want to fight UFC champs. I want to fight Belgian
That'll
champs.
never happen. Like, one will never fight UFC fighters.
Chaudhry said he would.
Today. Dana White will never allow that.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there.
Stop. Will they fight Bellator? That is where we're at. That's definitely what I think happens.
I would love to see that 1 versus Bellator, but
I would 100% see that.
There's so many different like kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA. You would have to set it up right. It could be done though. That one is very like liquid.
But I mean, at the same time, like I'll watch fucking Dan Hooker or Fiziev in a Muay Thai match. Like people could jump promotions. Like, you know what I mean? There are definitely some guys who could do some submission grappling that are in the UFC. Like sign up Chase Hooper. Right? Chase Hooper, Gary Tonin tomorrow. Like, let's do it. Like,
yeah, no, but I think the issue is with grappling. I think you can get away with that because you're not. I mean, yeah, you can get your leg torn off or something.
Ricky Bandejas about to fight Ray Borg in Eagle FC. This is actually low key a sick fight.
That's pretty dope.
Like,
I like me
2 young, exciting prospects. Bandejas KO'd McGregor's boy Jimmy whatever, James Gallagher.
Yeah.
Fucked him up. Yeah, so got a little hype behind him. Former Bellator guy too.
But
what else we got?
Back to this recap of it seems like there were no judges necessary in this one event.
No, none at all. Like there were a lot of refs necessary to save some lives, but no judges were needed after the first fight.
That'd have been a great payday to be a judge, to be honest. Judge one fight and get the hell out.
It was actually, it was a great payday for everyone because they gave out a record 5 $50,000 bonuses.
Ooh.
Out of 10 fights, that's some good cake. So credit.
That just shows if you
Chaudhry
deliver,
right there.
Chaudhry will fucking show you the bag.
Yeah.
That gave me an idea, though. This is more of a this UFC, any promotion, but UFC's got a lot of bank. But anybody, 50 G's, you finish your opponent. Forget the fight of the night shit.
I think there should be almost like tiered bonuses.
Well, like maybe you keep the fight of the night, keep
Like
performance.
a first round knockout's like $100,000. A second round sub is like $70,000.
Yeah, like I think finish. Just I think it's just finish. I think it's just finish. Like you don't do sub or knockout. But yeah, I'd say first round finish is 50, 30 for like second.
Keep performance of the night. Keep fight of the night. Maybe make those. Just keep 2 of them. Keep that at $50K, whatever. And then if you get a finish, no matter what, extra $25K, bam.
Yeah, I'm more than down with that because I think that incentivizes finishes. It's good for business, and it's a way for Dana to pay fighters without actually paying fighters.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dana gets a lot of heat for that, and it's understandable. A lot of them should be getting paid more, but he doesn't have to give out none of those bonuses, you know? So the fact that he does is pretty dope.
Yeah, sure.
He doesn't.
Easy there, Sam Alley.
It's true, though. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to give out pay-per-view points, but he does, you know?
He should be giving out a few more points.
But again, these people sign contracts, bro. You signed 5 fights for $100,000, bro. That's your own damn fault. Like, why wouldn't you bet on yourself and sign a lesser of a deal and then be out for more when you're worth more?
Yeah,
when it's that, and it's also.
But I get it because they could cut
your ass if you ask too much.
The UFC is 2 things. 1, it's a fighting promotion, but 2, it's a huge marketing promotion. Anybody that gets to the UFC, everyone knows their name. Look at Kevin Lee. Yeah, he got out, but now he's fighting in 1. Look at Mike Perry. He's making a ton of money here. Would we have known Mike Perry if he wasn't in the UFC?
Nah. That's what Kevin Lee said. I got famous first, and now I'm about to get rich fighting in this Eagle FC shit. But he's it sucks that I'm famous and broke.
The bottom people should be getting paid more, but you do have to understand the marketing machine that's behind it, and they are getting these.
The only reason I know, the only reason I'm excited for this fight is because.
But that's it's almost kind of the same thing as what the MLB was just going through with their lockout, where basically the fighters and the athletes in the MLB, they get paid shit or very under market value for their first. In the MLB, it's like 5 to 6 years. In the UFC, it's usually 5 to 6 fights. And then, so these guys are severely underpaid to, on their come up. And a lot of the time, that's when they're producing. You know what I mean? Their first, few fights, that's when they're getting exciting. That's when they're getting knockouts. In the MLB, that's when they're 24. Rafael Devers coming third in the fucking MVP voting, making less than $3 million, less than $2 million. In the same way with like some of these guys, the McGregor come up, like when he was actually at his best, he wasn't getting paid as much. And I know he's not the best example because he eventually did get paid. But then in the turning thing, by the time they get to that point of the big contract, they're 12, 15 fights in, and they're getting overpaid for shit fights because they're past their prime. And it's like, oh, well, why are we paying $500K for this guy who's 38? It's like, because you paid him $20K for his first fucking 8 fights. So, of course, he's going to take you to the cleaners now when you have to.
No, exactly. No, yeah.
I think if they get a more...
It's hard to... I mean, how many people did they have on their roster? Like 700-800 fighters or something like that?
Yeah, there's a disgusting amount.
So they're all making more than us.
We got enough to talk about. Let's not harp on fighter pay at the minute.
Fair.
But I do agree. The bottom level should be bumped for sure. No doubt.
Definitely. It's got to be at least a livable wage. Like, Jesus.
Correct.
Livable could fight 3 fights. There are 2 fights.
Exactly.
2 fights a year. 2 fights a year.
Yeah. Like 2 fights a year is like, all right, you should be getting by. 3 fights a year, you should be
2 fights a year.
comfortable.
If you get like 30 to show, 30 to win, you're chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that exactly.
But like, other than whatever.
Before we move on to our next segment, we do have our first sponsor. No Judges Necessary is sponsored by Earth Sugar, a first of its kind superfood confectionery based right out here in Phoenix, Arizona. It specializes in raw organic desserts, energetic snacks, and clean label confections and adaptogenic pantry items. Use promo code NOJUDGES to get 25% off all Earth Sugar products, including their family packs, which include 6 of their Super Bark Clean Energy bars and 1 whole caramel candy micro cake. And new update from the Earth Sugar owners. They are actually moving into the Tempest in Tempe. It's right on University, and they're going to be doing a lot of events, beer garden stuff. So we're going to be doing some No Judges stuff with Earth Sugar coming in the next months. They're going to be moving in April. So if you are local here in Arizona, come check it out.
Earth Sugar, loveearthsugar.com. No Judges, 25% off. Let's get this money. Love Earth Sugar.
Yes, sir. And now we got a pretty big pay-per-view to recap, right?
Yeah, we got to recap 272.
I mean, let's think about this here. So, I don't think there's anything too crazy on the early prelims. Oh, actually, I lied. Tim Elliott with the upset. We could talk about that.
I don't know why. I was all over that. I didn't cash as much as I should have off of that, but
did you see how he was fighting a little dirty? He had 2 knees to a grounded opponent. He had his fingers. He eye poked him, and he had his fingers in his gloves multiple times. Khabib was going stupid on the corner, freaking out. It was crazy. I've never seen Khabib that mad. Not even with the whole Conor stuff.
I mean, if I'm Tim Elliott, I'm 18.
You're doing what you can.
Oh, Ricky Bandejas possibly going to sleep. Oh, Saved by the Bell. Holy shit. Ray Borg almost rear naked choked him into oblivion.
Dude, Ray Borg, when he gets to the ground, it's just a goddamn energizing buddy.
Ray Borg's a problem.
But yeah, I mean, if I'm Tim Elliott in that situation, I'm doing the exact same shit. And if I'm Khabib, I'm equally as mad.
No, yeah, for sure. And then skipping ahead, the other ones were kind of.
Shout out to Marina Manoz getting a big win for Ukraine.
We were right. Usually the good stories never happen, but this was one that we had a.
She looked great. She looked great, fucking doing that too.
She really did, and honestly, as much as clearly everyone was rooting for it, and I didn't want to come out and say it, there was a part of me that I'm like, is this kind of pressure going to be too much?
No, she thrived under the pressure.
Exactly. And so all the credit to her for being able to,
We had a couple of split decisions. Marina Rodriguez over 9. Yep. Yan Xiaonan. That was a sick fight. I gotta say it right now. Brick was right. That was a great fight.
Disrespect. That should have been on the main card. That
100%.
Should have been low-key fight of the night. I don't know if they got a bonus or not, but they absolutely deserved it. That was a war for 15 minutes. And like I said, those are the 2 women in the top 5 that I want to watch every single card.
That was a sick fight.
And then the fight after it, Jalen Turner and Malarkey was fucking fireworks that first round. And bro, Turner is going to be a problem at lightweight. This dude is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Get him a top 15 fight ASAP, I think.
Yeah, I want to see, and no disrespect to Malarkey, but I want to see him against some real top level striking and see how he truly matches up.
Yeah, even I'm willing to say put him against Brad Riddell. Let's see how he could do.
Ooh, I like that. I'd like that.
That's a good fight, actually.
And then, it's probably over, right?
I hope it's over. Get this.
I
bum
kind of
out the
hope
league.
it's not.
So
I
just
want him to get
beat
the
up
Sam
on-
Alvey contract. I want to watch fucking Greg Hardy get his fucking head dribbled off the canvas for the next 10 years.
I think Greg Hardy needs to start looking for another job.
I mean, the XFL's coming back. The USFL's coming back.
The CFL's still going.
CFL's going.
Shit, with name, image, likeness, he's probably got another year of college football still left in him.
Yeah.
This guy got to bounce, bro.
UFC
Hardy,
ain't it.
This,
I mean, again,
that
like
ain't
I
it,
said,
Chief.
at this
No,
point,
you know what they
I
should
will
do?
watch him get knocked out at any point.
They should just keep him, like, you know how you were saying in multiple podcasts back that there should be like Cerrone, you have to beat him to get into the UFC.
Yeah, I just thought that shit. I just thought that in my brain, fam. I was just thinking
that's like the Contender Series.
Just stuck on the Dana White Contender Series. Like, he can't get past.
I swear, there's literally guys in the UFC that's like, bro, you should just get paid like $45,000 a fight to just fight everyone on the Contender Series. Like, if they beat you and they look good doing it, like they're in.
He's just the final boss of the heavyweight series.
They're just the final boss.
I'm down.
Like, honestly, there's like a guy for every division. And I know I'm wrong on like Cowboy Cerrone, but that's just like who came to mind first.
Right.
And it was probably after watching like a sick like Contender Series fight.
Yeah. And that's not even, I mean, in this situation, it's a punishment. But like for other divisions,
it depends. Like 135, that could be lit, and the guy could change too. It could be like, yo, you've won 5 straight as the final boss. Like you're in.
Right.
Like you're back.
Like Brad Riddell 2 years ago when he was kind of on the shits, you know, like
people could rotate.
Like Justin Taffa or something. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know.
But like, say they win 4 in a row, like, oh shit, well then maybe they're back. Like,
is that Chip Dale or Simba? I can't ever tell.
This is the OG.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to.
OG.
No, that should be a thing. That should almost be like getting relegated or like getting sent to like the developmental team.
Yeah.
If you're on like a sports team, that's what the Contender Series should also be. You should get relegated to Contender Series sometimes.
I'd be down.
If that was like WWE and NXT, like, yo, we're gonna have a guy go to NXT and like revive his career. Like that's exactly what the shit should be.
I've heard worse ideas.
Like, honestly though.
But what else we got?
My boy Kevin Holland coming through. I mean,
call up Big Mouth.
Crazy. He didn't talk. He was quiet mouth in this fight. He didn't say a peep. He was all about his business and the ones and twos, fam.
He was like, I wasn't gonna talk because the dude couldn't speak English.
That's fair. You're just talking shit to him. He has no idea what you're saying.
Learn some Portuguese, blood.
That's hilarious. But dude, that first round had me a little scared, man. I was like, Cowboy Oliveira is not an easy walk in the park. So I was like, that was look rough, but Kevin Holland came through, landed that. Finished it with the ground and pound. And I actually bet on Kevin Holland to win in the second round. So that paid out nicely.
Damn.
Good
call on that.
I got lucky, to be honest. And I lost all that. I lost all.
Then we had what to me was a shocker of the night.
Yes.
Bryce Mitchell beating Edson Barbosa. Yeah, this really shocked me. Bryce Mitchell's the real deal, huh?
I know. I don't know if I'm mad at you guys or mad at myself, because like I feel like Bryce Mitchell is one of those guys I've been blindly like riding all the way in, even though I know he's not all the way there yet. And then you guys have like talked like logic into me, and I was like, yeah, Edson's gonna win, and I bet Edson, and that's just not a brick thing to do.
No,
and that's the thing. It made so much sense.
And you know what? The fucked up thing too was I had Edson and parlays that all were looking good, or like he was the last leg of a couple of them. So I actually hedge bet, but I did fucking Bryce Mitchell by sub.
Oh.
So I double lost.
I underestimated Arkansas country strength.
I overestimated.
And I'll never do that again.
What I overestimated was Barbosa's ability to scramble and get up. I was like, yeah, he's gonna get.
But that's because he got handled by the Swamp Searcy Arkansas chicken coop strength. That I was fucking like, nah, this ain't it, Chief.
Bro, you
should
can
be in
hold
the
down a
gym,
hog. You
and
can
this
hold down a
guy's
Barbosa.
fucking
Just...
curling tree logs, bro. I underestimated that country toughness and strength, and I will never do that.
You ever
again.
wrestled a Razorback?
Like for real. That's where we're at right now. This dude can take down goats and like chickens. Like, but Barbosa ain't shit compared to that. Like,
what I'm interested, what's next for Bryce?
That's what I was saying.
Let me hear the division.
So
we're talking 45, yeah?
He's got ahead of him Giga, Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett.
Oh, please give him Giga. Oh, I would love that.
Oh, he would smother Giga.
Giga or Josh Emmett.
Honestly, what I would like is I would say the winner of Arnold Allen and Dan Hooker.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But please give him Giga because I would love to see that because for some reason Giga rubs me the wrong way. And all respect to him, like honestly, we talk shit about fighters, but at the end of the day, they step into a cage. They're the reason we even talk about the shit. So all respect to them. At the same time, I'm gonna pick the people that I don't like sometimes. And Giga rubs me the wrong way. I'm sure if I met him, it'd be hella cool. But as a spectator of the sport, as a Kings fan for basketball, I go against the Lakers. That don't, same shit. Giga is who I'm, in that division, and I would love to see some farm strength work.
That's like even like looking ahead, like I'm a huge Cal Cater fan. That's a horrible matchup for Cal Cater. Like a terrible matchup for Cal Cater.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And I think Cal Cater might be like a better MMA fighter. It's just like stylistically, like you're gonna get rolled up into a fucking ball.
Well, I think Giga's gonna take a minute to heal. He got his ass whooped.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're looking at Ortega and Yair. I heard rumors they're looking at Holloway and Josh Emmett.
Interesting.
So I think the winner.
I don't know if it'd be too much of a. Is Yair booked?
No, yeah, I think they're looking at him and Ortega.
Him and Ortega.
Not booked, but that fight's gonna be sick. So yeah, I like Mitchell. I want to see Mitchell versus Arnold Allen really bad. I think that would be a great test for both of them.
Makes a lot of sense. Yo, Ricky Bandejas making this ugly right now. He's stuffing a lot of takedowns. This is getting real interesting here.
Yo,
he does look good in this third round.
Yeah, like I think he's putting it on him. Ray Borg has kind of controlled him first two rounds, but gas tank now.
First two,
and Dejas Loki looks like if you were out
there. You're not. Yeah, if I was tatted to the gills
and shake your head,
you're not.
He looks like a dollar store Joe Giannetti.
A little bit.
No, Joe Giannetti's the dollar store version of him, I guess.
No, like it's like a mixture. It's a Nil Giannetti.
Nil Giannetti.
Wow. Oh shit! Ray Borg with the crazy left hook. Oh my god!
He gets him again.
This fight's getting chaos. No way.
I think you're a little ahead of us.
Yeah, he's definitely ahead of us. Holy shit!
Ooh.
Oh lord! Ray Borg bleeding under the left eye.
Oh, there's the body work.
I got a homie back home that looks dead on like Bandejas.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's getting out of control. Minute and a half in this fight. Oh
Ray
my
Borg's
god!
face not looking too good.
No, it's not. It's literally it's looking like
I got a good
meat right now.
Speaking of faces not looking too
great
good.
Left hook by Bandejas. He's putting it on him.
Speaking of faces not looking too good, Moicano and RDA. Bro, this is where I lost almost the rest of my money. Besides the main event.
How? I told you this was the lock of the century.
Bro, I had RDA inside the distance on like everything. I was like, yo, it's 5 rounds. This dude's coming off the couch. 5 rounds against RDA. No way he's going to make it. He shouldn't have made it. The refs stopped that like 4 fucking times. The doctor, they had a whole fucking doctor's office looking at this guy. Bro,
like, can you see? He's like, no chance. They're like, all right, fight.
I was sitting there like, bro, are you fucking kidding?
Oh, right hand by Ray Borg just stunned Bandejas.
Spinning back fist.
Oh my god, 30 seconds to go. Front kick from Bandejas. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta go first, bro.
Oh my god, another right hand by Borg. Here comes Bandejas. This is madness. Absolute madness.
Good fight.
Yep, great fight. Oh,
I think it's still going to go 2-1, but I
yep.
would probably
Oh
give
my
the
God,
third
start
round
him
to
again from
Venegas.
Borg.
But
I wasn't watching close enough.
I just saw Borg
Back and forth they go,
kind of
trading
wrestling,
shit.
doing
Final
his
bell
classic
coming.
like wrestle fucking for 2
my
rounds.
Goodness.
I know at least
What
the
a
first
finish.
he won. The second I wasn't.
Now,
as
Ray
paying
Borg probably
attention.
won this fight.
Yeah. Do you know how they score in Eagle?
Nah, I'm assuming it's by round.
I was assuming they just kind of asked Khabib.
If you wrestle, you win.
If you smash guy, you win. If not, you lose.
Yeah.
Takedowns count
Smash
as
or no smash. Yes.
and
the smasher is.
A punch is
the
not a
smasher.
They don't call it a winner, they call it a smasher.
If
That was
you
a good
punch,
fight,
it's half
though.
a point. If you get a takedown, it's 10 points.
If you have a mustache, it's -2.
But yeah, RDA, they played me so bad
that's
on
tough,
that.
brother. That's tough.
Yo, Ray Borg's eye is big fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the main event of the evening.
Yikes.
This is where I lost all of my money.
See, I only had like $10 left, and I was like, well, the only way I can make my money back is if I go George inside the distance here. So lost that too.
I hit on RDA. I put in a lot on that Saturday. I hit on RDA to go up like a little. If Jorge won, I would have been up, I think, like 12 or 1300. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Because I had like him by knockout was +400, and I had that in a couple juicy parlays that were fucking riding. Like, and in a round robin that I was thinking was like 5 out of 6 or something. Like, it was bad. I mean, again, I didn't lose on the night, but that fourth round when I saw that chin hit that ear.
You know what Colby said post fight? I think this is the best statement. The funniest statement he's had.
Uh-oh.
He goes, I just took a knee for the first responders. That shit didn't even hurt me.
That was
what an ass.
That is hilarious, bro. Because like
funny.
he took a knee in that shit, dude. He fell to a knee and got up. Like I took a knee for the first responders.
Every once in a while, Colby does have a good one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny.
But
yeah, that shit's hilarious, bro.
This was one of those fights where I was like, I've always been a Jorge fan. Like since he fought, I think Cowboy was the one that really woke me up to him.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, this cat's
not including
good.
Street?
No, I mean I had watched those Kimbo fights, but I didn't know it was him.
Sure.
Facts.
Same.
We all did that shit, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'd never put those two together. I'd seen him in there, and he was never a big deal to me. And then all of a sudden, that Cowboy fight woke me up to him. Like, yo, this cat's good. And I watched some of his back stuff. I'm like, I'm a big fan of Jorge, but like, he wasn't near my like top 10 favorites. But watching this fight, having them walk out, I was rooting so hard. Besides the money, just like the fandom, I was like, man, please do it to him. Please do it to him.
You know what happened? I couldn't separate the fandom from what would actually happen in this fight. You know how I said I wanted to stay doing that? I didn't do it for this fight, and I fucked that up.
Yeah,
keep going. Sorry.
And that's what happened. I was actually, which I'm usually the guy who never does that, and I was the guy who said that, who's just like, bro, Colby's just gonna outclass him and out wrestle him. And
I knew that. I knew that too.
I knew it in the bottom of my heart. I knew it was going to be a Colby decision.
Bro, some kid at the school I work at, bro, he always rocking UFC gear. I was like, yo, who you got, Colby or Jorge? He's like, man, Colby's going to like 50, 45 him. And I was like, oh, no. Like, shit. Like, even he knew, and I didn't even listen, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. All I can say is thank God that Kamaru Usman's an elite wrestler and a better striker.
For real, bro.
Because we can't give this asshole a belt. Like,
well, like how weird is it calling out Dustin? Like, to me,
I think at this point it's money.
Perfect sense.
It's just money. He know he ain't beating Usman.
That makes perfect
here's
sense.
What's happening here. He's being smart because he knows, hey, that's one of the biggest names in the UFC, big pay-per-view event. And I'll probably destroy it. Like, it's an easy fight, a lot of no risk, a lot of reward. But
you think no risk?
No, I think Dustin has a problem with wrestlers like that. But what would have gained more respect for me if he was like called out the winner of Kamzat and Burns.
But he said going into this fight he was going to beat Jorge and then beat the soy boy Dustin Poirier.
No, I know, but I see why. The logic makes sense. It's a smart move.
I got you.
What would have gained more respect for me if he said, "Nah, I'm coming for you, Kamaru, and I'm gonna get there by beating whoever wins that fight next. I'm gonna smack them, and then I'm gonna come right back because I have no choice."
I got a hard question. Is Jorge Masvidal a Hall of Famer?
No. If he came up 5 years earlier and was in that pioneer class, maybe. He will be in the Hall of Fame because he will have Hall of Fame fights and moments that are featured.
But does his Kimbo Slice era put him in the pioneer wing?
No.
Here's the thing. I want him to be.
If he was a Pride guy, maybe. If he was WEC, maybe.
He was Strike Force. He fought for the Strike Force.
He was Strike Force.
And lost to go.
To see that.
Melendez. That's the thing is he wasn't elite enough.
But you know what I'm trying to say though? Is he a Hall of Famer though?
He hasn't been he hasn't been Hall of Fame since the backyard.
I want him.
But he's got the fastest knockout in the history.
That moment will be
the pioneer.
That will be in the Hall. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for moments, like Brick said. But as far as resume, I want him to be
But he's not a Hall of Famer.
I just
what's his UFC record?
35-16.
But that's whole UFC or whole MMA. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't care.
I can do some quick math. Let's see where he started.
Yo, they got Kamaru Usman, Chael Sonnen, and Cejudo on the broadcast for Eagle.
How wild is it that Masvidal has subbed Chiesa?
That's absurd.
No, but yeah, my heart says, he should be in there just because, how big of a star he is, how dope he is. But
he's not.
I feel like it waters down
the Hall of Fame
a little bit. I feel like
he's 12-9-1 in the UFC.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
All right. These are the stats I needed to hear. It just came to my brain. It's is this guy a Hall of Famer?
Right, because he has some Hall of Fame type wins, like Darren Till, Nate Diaz.
Yeah, the Darren Till knockout's his best one.
Because
the way he did it,
he had some real
wins. Silenced everyone. And I was there for that shit.
Yeah, and that's where I've had such a weird fandom arc of Jorge Masvidal because again. I was a fan of him 15 years ago when I didn't know who he was on whatever interweb 1.0 that we all watched it on. And then I was sort of a fan of his as he was coming up, kind of like you said, where you're I like this guy, but he wasn't my favorite fighter. Then as he got close to the title, I've been well-established. I'm an Usman fan. And then when all the shit went down, and then when we went to Jacksonville and it was the entire state of Florida versus me and Usman,
bro,
I was out on him. And now I had to come back in on him in this fight, and he gets fucking 40. He gets what? One of them was 50-43 or something disgusting.
Well, that's how I felt with the Nate Diaz fight. I'm me, I'm a Diaz bro. I had to go with Nate.
Yeah.
But it didn't make me not like George either. It was just I'm going for Nate this one. Here we go.
Right. But it was more of the fact that I had to buy back. I bought back in. I bought your stock and then it tanked. I sold it a while ago and it was a great play. And I was you know what? Maybe I'll buy back in on this company. And it just fucking crashed.
To kind of touch back on Brick's point, one of my favorite, I'm sure I've said it before in the pod, but one of my favorite moments in sporting events live was being in the O2 in London and hearing Darren Till come out to Sweet Caroline and everyone going bananas and then him just getting starched in the second round and just being a pin drop. After he dropped Masvidal 2 in the first, everyone was going bananas. The vibe was so high. It was yo, holy shit. And then it was just pin drop. So that feeling live in the fucking
Oh, I
stadium,
can't.
it's so electric, dude. It's
Probably gave you
especially
chills,
especially when you got like the guy that everyone doesn't like. That shit's
I mean,
crazy.
that was me and Jackson.
Yeah,
like,
correct. Like
where
I'm glad
everyone
someone
was
else
in on
has had
Usman.
that moment.
But we all knew Usman was gonna win.
Yeah,
but
but still, it's
when
being
you're in
there.
that stadium and 50,000 people are or whatever, 35,000 people are telling you he's not going to win, I started being like, wait, is he not going to win? Like, what's going on? And I mean, no, nothing against the state of Florida, but I was a little fearful to be rooting for Usman. Like, I was pretty much the only one in the section, but that was still a great moment. But
all right, we moving on.
Let's move on. We got any MMA news?
Yeah, no, I got something right off the rip for y'all.
I definitely got MMA news, fam.
I got you right. First off, May 7th, UFC's coming to Arizona. We may have to get to this because it's Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje.
Yep.
They just
Corporate Center, fam.
And they just added Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an absolute fucking banger because I do think Chandler at this point in his career might have a little more in the tank, whatever, might have a little more power, but
it's
Tony Ferguson, yeah, he's a fucking zombie. Like that
Tony Ferguson is the biggest like coin flip dice roll ever. Like you don't know what the hell you're gonna get from that guy.
No,
he's like one of those in Mario when you have those like bricks that are a question mark and you hit it and it's like what the hell's coming out of here?
Could be a star, could be a mushroom, could be a shell, anything.
That's Ferguson, and I love it. And I've always liked Ferguson just for being himself and kind of a weirdo like that.
Right. And I'm actually curious.
I never know what he's saying. Do you follow him and see his tweets and what he posts? It's like hieroglyphics.
Yeah, that's when I said like I think I actually follow him, but I do not like actively follow him because it's a weird place.
He's like he'll say some of the wildest shit ever. And I'll be like, I don't know if you're mad or you're.
It's something that I'm curious, and maybe we'll have to find out ourselves. I'm curious to see him fight live because so much of his shit is weird and technical, and like I feel like you almost don't see it until like a replay or like different angles and shit. So I'm curious to actually watch him live. Of like, is it going to be enhanced where you see more weird shit, or is it going to be like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing, like. Yeah, I can't see anything. Like
that's gonna be a dope fight. I can't. So that was what I had for news. I'm sure there's. What do you got now?
So Bam Bam Tai Tuivasa went on Ariel Helwani's show, and he said in the works is him versus Stipe. They're trying to get that popping. And
bro,
that got
I tried to tell y'all. Both
Bam
of you
Bam
guys
versus
are saying
Stipe,
like, nah,
bud.
he was
and
number
he was
11.
Like, no, that's a fight I really want. Da da da. But like, bruh.
Yeah. I told you guys, he's a fucking superstar, and the UFC is going to try to absolutely cash on this. I told you he was getting a top 5, top 3 fight. Like, you guys were like, nah, he was 11. He just got put into the last fight. Like, nah. I knew they were going to try to. And now, like, I mean, it's the heavyweight division. They do this all the time where someone gets hot, someone gets viral, someone gets a couple knockouts. And, I mean, this guy's a fucking superstar inside and outside the cage. And they push them through. And then a lot of times they learn a couple lessons when they get up there and then they, reset. But that would be a fucking mega. I mean, what's Stipe's deal? Like, where the fuck is Stipe at on any of this? Like, health, mental, firefighter? Like,
I mean,
does he want the fight?
He was holding out for the title, and then that's not going to happen.
And then I thought he was holding out for Bones.
And Ngannou's gone for 9 months. So he's like, okay, let's look at this Jones fight. And they're both talking about that. Who the fuck knows what that – that's just like writing a letter to Santa Claus. I don't think that it's even going to get answered. So I think he should take the fight. Honestly, I think it's a good stylistic matchup for Stipe, but – Bam Bam's there, man.
I almost feel like for Stipe, like, I mean, if he wants a fight, take it. But where he's kind of at, like, he could just not fight and basically be pretty much in GOAT conversation. And I hope for him, I mean, we've argued about fighter pay before, but I would hope for him that he's pretty financially well off, that he wouldn't just need a fight.
He's
And
like,
it
"Bro,
seems a little bit like, now don't get me wrong, like Ty is a star and everyone loves him. So if you beat him, like it is impressive, but like with his resume, it kind of seems like more risk than reward there. Now, his contract, any fight he takes, he gonna get paid. So I'm not saying that like that's gonna be an issue, but I don't know. I mean,
got a
if
question.
he gets finished and gets a Shui Vasa and goes viral for that, like that's not a good look for the GOAT. Like,
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
True or false?
Yep.
true.
Henry Cejudo fights in 2022.
In a organization?
In the UFC.
No chance. Zero. False.
No.
I bet he does. I bet you.
No. Oh my
fucking
god.
chance.
Spinning wheel kick heavyweights. Someone just landed it. Holy fuck.
Ooh,
Now
big
there's a
knee.
knee.
Big knee.
Anthony Hamilton could be going down early in Eagle FC.
He was a big underdog.
Well, I saw what happened, so.
All right then.
Oh, does he snatch his neck? Oh no.
All right. Anyways,
I love being ahead of y'all on this. This is hilarious.
I know. Now we're trying to like guess what happens and stuff.
but
Anyway,
does Henry Cejudo fight in the UFC in 2022? I would honestly put it at about a 45% chance.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd put it
Bro,
at like
he's
a
in-
5%
dude,
chance.
What do you mean, bro? He's training some of the most elite guys in the game. He's still fucking sparring with a lot of people. He's still active. He's active on Twitter. He's calling out the biggest names. That would sell. If he fought Alexander Volkanovski next, you wouldn't watch that fight?
Absolutely. I
Okay,
would.
so
but guess what? Henry fucking Cejudo is making probably as much money as he was making in the UFC, calling fucking Eagle FC fights, calling other shit, training fighters,
The only
getting a
reason why I
cut,
think he
being a
comes
fucking
back-
cornerman.
No, the only reason why I think he comes back is because he goes for another belt. He goes for
I think
145 and tries to become C4 instead
He's
of
coming.
C.
He's coming for the 45 belt, dude. And I don't have insider knowledge, but I'm leaning heavily. I would say about 70% chance we see him fight again 2022.
I could completely see it.
Damn.
Let's say Volk dusts fucking Korean Zombie. You don't think Cejudo's like, fight me right now? Volk would 100% want that
Oh,
fight.
no, he'll tweet it.
Yeah,
I don't think
if
he'll
Volk
fight.
wants it and Cejudo wants it, it's on. That shit happening.
I don't know.
Well, shit. Let's get
Because
into
he-
that.
Because you want to be
But
C4.
Dana's going to have to fucking back out the fucking truck to get that done now.
But the hype's going to be there. Move on.
We've seen things with hype that don't get it. But anything else in news, or are we moving on?
No, let's move on, dude. We got
All right.
14 fights to talk about. We're now in.
All right. And we also have our second sponsor to talk about. No Judgment Necessary is presented by Acosta Clothing, the hottest streetwear and high fashion brand coming out of the Bay Area, California. They specialize in a range of quality backpacks and accessories. Acosta has been worn by some of the top MMA fighters such as Dom Cruz, Mina Kim Dawoodu, and our boy Ray Waters. You can find them at AcostaClothing.com or on Instagram at Acosta Clothing. But let's get into it. We got a 14 fight card. Yo, this was sneaky. I like this card.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love this card.
I
Right?
do too.
Okay, I like that we're all on the same page. Let's get into
My
it.
phone may die,
think right
so
off the
we
jump.
may have to figure out reading off fights as it goes on, but let's get
We'll
into it. First, we got Tafwan and Chukwi, 6-1 out of Cameroon, taking on Anzamat Mirzakhanov, 10-0 out of that land they call Russia. Fuck that place. Yeah, I think Tafwan and Chukwi, his nickname should be the Teflon Don, and he should come out to Rick Ross like some big, like, oh, I think of Rick Ross, like big time music. I think that'd be an electric walkout and like entrance for him. I actually kind of like him in this fight. I think he's an electric striker. If he can keep this shit standing against undefeated Russian.
I got undefeated Russian all day.
Yeah.
all damn day.
It makes sense. I get it. I'm not separating the artist from the art here purely because this art is coming from certain place that I don't care for at the minute. So yeah,
I'm just really hoping that Tough One can
just like spark some first fight of the night,
like,
just like for Twitter.
Right,
bro. If you look at this,
catch him with an uppercut.
If you look at Amazat's record, bro, he finishes like everybody. I think it's going to be a
professional.
He's going to be a banger for the first round. And I got Amzat the distance on this.
Yeah, and I mean that's realistic. Actually, looking at this now, he's probably a big favorite, probably like minus 325.
Surprisingly, only minus 182, plus 145 for Tough One. Not to go the distance, minus 190. That's actually not terrible juice. Because I think this fight is going to get finished one way or the other.
I'm going to be rooting for Tough One.
So I would,
looking at it, Amzamat's going to win.
Not to go the distance, minus 190 is definitely going in some of my parlays for sure. Next fight,
we got Guido Canetti, 8-6 out of Argentina, taking on Chris Moutinho, 9-5 out of the USA in the bantamweight division. This is a wild fight, fellas.
I got Chris, man. I think Moutinho is going to push the pace. I think it could be a wild fight, but I don't know. Guido has not impressed me at all, like ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very easy.
He's 42 years old as well.
He's really that old.
And he was rationing on Eagle FC earlier for having fights with 44-year-olds.
Well, in their main event, co-main event.
And he's lost his last 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, this kind of seems like a bit of a thank you for by the UFC. You know, like, hey, Chris, by the way, thanks for saving an awesome fight.
Yeah, we'll give you someone reasonable now.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're trying to get him a dubs, and they're trying to like build him as the tough guy that lost to O'Malley and took like 300 shots. I think that's how
I kind of like Moutinho by decision plus 230. I do think Guido's at least tough enough to maybe like hang in there. And I think Chris will get the decision, but I also like over 2.5 rounds, minus 148. I don't hate that. I think this is going to get pretty deep into the third round. Chris could surprise me and spark him, but I don't see as much power as more the kind of the pace you were talking about. Next fight, we got Cody Brundage, 6-2 out of the USA, taking on Dulce Lagumbawala, 11-3 out of DR Congo, I believe.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this one. I'm gonna just say decision.
I don't either. This seems like your food fight.
Yes, correct.
I feel like it's gonna be sloppy, and I think it's gonna go to decision.
I kind of love this fight to go decision. None of these guys stick out to me as like, ooh, I do anything. Like, yeah, sure, they're well-rounded fighters. Great, no knock on that. But let's be real. On an electricity scale, these guys may be lacking a bit.
This fight to go decisions plus 115. I kind of like Dulce by decision plus 400. That just seems juicy, and I think he's going to have slightly more power and a little more strength to be able to like wrestle him, or at least I don't know if it's going to be full on wrestling, but I think there's going to be a lot of like grimy, dirty boxing and shit against the cage, and I think Dulce sort of wins those exchanges.
This guy better go to sleep.
Who?
Brundage.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty out on Cody Brundage. I think he might get cut after this fight.
I think he's only had one fight, and it was against Nick Maximov, and that wasn't a bad showing. He lost, but it was a decision.
Why do I not like this guy then?
He lost to Will Knight on Contender Series.
Oh, that's who it was. He got his fucking ass beat by Will Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wanted an LFA fight.
Yeah, I'm out on this guy.
Big out.
Next fight. We got Sabina Mazo. We got Sabina Mazo 9-3 taking on Miranda Maverick 9-4 in the female flyweight division. This is actually a good fight.
This is my
What we
lock.
got, fellas?
This is my
What do
lock of the night. Mavericks.
Speak to me, fam. What do you
Mavericks,
got?
Mavericks gonna take it to the ground and grind her out. In my opinion, I think her ground game is just. I mean, after what we saw in her last fight, was it the last fight?
Yeah, she looked good in her last fight. Didn't we call it the female Khabib? Were we like tripping? And like, yo, like,
yeah, where is she from? It was like,
oh no, no. She lost to Blanchfield, and we were saying Blanchfield to stand.
oh yeah, she got.
Oh, we're on the
She
complete
got
wrong
got.
path. She got kebabbed or Khabibed.
Right, she's lost to a split decision.
Oh
recently.
no! Oh Lord!
That takes it all back. I don't know who's
But-
winning now.
I will say, Vegas must have made the same mistake because Miranda Maverick is a minus 335 favorite, plus 255 for Mazo. I kind of want to take Mazo.
Yeah, but she's lost to Agapova and Alexis Davis last two, so they're both
I
coming.
kind
off
of
two
don't want to
losses.
take Mazo.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
No,
are
I
all
was-
over the
I thought
place
this was
with
my
this
lock,
fight.
and now I'm just.
All right, I'm gonna flip this. If it lands like this, if it lands like that, what side is this?
That's Mazo Maverick on the other side.
All right,
Which one?
flip it again.
That's not a good answer.
Mazo.
All right, plus 255. Take it. Next
The
fight.
first one was Maverick.
No, it landed the same side up both times.
Relax.
All right, next fight, which again I don't care about this fight at all. 19-4-1, Damon Jackson taking on Kumela Kirk, 11-4 in the featherweight division.
Damon Jackson sounded like you're trying to sell me insurance at noon in between the commercial. The Price is Right.
He
Nah,
seemed like
I got-
seemed like a WWE guy or like a wrestler, like Damon Jackson. It's like, oh, here comes Damon Action Jackson, like just fucking running down the
With the
thing.
power
Yeah,
bomb,
like oh, Damon Jackson with the power bomb. Facts, like he gives me big like WWE vibes, and I just can't
And
not.
so
with
does
this
kind
guy.
of his record.
No, but the Kirk just beat, or he beat Makwan Americani last year.
Okay, that's a decent one. I'm pretty out on Americani personally, but that is a decent
That was
one.
his debut.
Yeah,
Lost to Billy Q. He at least went 3 rounds with Billy Q. Okay. Beat Kevin Kroom. Huh.
that's what I'm
I could
saying.
be sold on Kirk.
Yeah, that's why I think
And he's
But
a
it's-
slight
But is
dog.
it enough
It's
to
pretty
beat
much-
David Jackson? He's coming off a dub against Charles Rosa. Has beat Meerschaert Bektik.
I think it's
better
the better
fight.
fight than you guys are making it.
No,
Yeah.
this definitely is on paper. I mean, I like to clown it on the get go, but yeah, for sure. I can admit I was a little wrong here.
What are the odds on this thing?
Yeah,
It's pretty much a pick 'em. Damon Jackson a slight favorite at minus 121. Kamala Kirk coming in at minus 103.
okay.
Fight to go the distance would be minus 139. I think there's probably some value in that. I don't think either of these guys are finishers. It could be an exciting fight, but I don't think either of them are really, gonna put it away. Yeah, I don't know which way. I lost on Damon Jackson in that Charles Rosa fight, so this is one of those where I feel like now I'm going to take him and he's going to lose.
All right. Well, while you think about it, let's talk the next fight.
Let's do it.
We got 5-star Trevin Jones, 13-7, taking on Javid the Snow Leopard Basharat, 11-0. This is a very interesting fight. What are your opening belt thoughts?
I got
Before
this
I go off.
record all day. I think coming in at 11-0, I looked at his record. He won his amateur fight too. He's never tasted defeat. So you got that confidence riding into this thing. Trevin Jones had a shaky career. I feel like, he's could be fighting for his career while Snow Leopard's like, I'm going to the top. So
Yeah,
I
he
think
was the
those
beginning.
difference in mentalities is going to play a big factor.
Honestly, Javid fought on Contender Series, and his opponent called him a terrorist at the weigh-in, and he was like, "Yo, Mick Maynard, like you hear that?" And they were like, "Yeah, we heard that. Like, we'll get it sorted."
Right.
This dude literally the next day beat him up like he was his younger brother. He tortured this dude for 3 rounds and then said, "You know what? I'm gonna get you in a choke right now. I'm gonna choke you out." He did whatever the fuck he wanted in that fight, and that really impressed me because the guy tried to get under his skin. He said some shit, and here came Javid, came through, pieced him up on the feet, was able to take him down at will, and just broke him. And
Yeah.
I was very impressed. Now, can he do that against Trevin Jones? I don't know, but I like the skill set that I've seen, and I think the skill set's enough to beat Jones.
That's kind of where I'm at, where I do think he probably has the skills, but in the grand scheme of his career, this is a massive jump in like skill and experience. Like he really
What
has
are the odds saying?
The odds are actually still pretty close. Javid is a favorite, but only minus 150.
But that's like spot on.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
Because
what
it's
I
a
think.
debut, you can't give him like some massive favorite. And Trevin Jones isn't like some scrub. Like he's still a solid fighter, but
Oh, all 11 by finish too for Basharat? Yeah, this is my dog, bro.
Slick, I think he might sub Jones.
The pride of Pakistan, fam.
I think you might sub him. Basharat by sub plus 375. I think it could be one of those like almost knocks him out, and then he like goes to a knee or something, and then snatches the neck or like grabs the back. You know.
I think this is going to be an exciting fight, but I got the Snow Leopard.
Agreed. Next fight.
Next fight, we got JJ Aldrich, 10-4, taking on Jillian Robertson, 10-6 in the female flyweight division. Opening bout thoughts?
I'm betting
Have they not fought before? Like I feel like they've both been around the whole time. How the hell have they not fought?
JJ Aldrich sounds like a 1970s band. And I just can't like get it out of my head. They're like, oh, you know that album by
JJ Aldrich was in Motley Crue.
Like, yeah, like it's just like I just can't like that JJ Aldrich album.
Remember JJ? I can't think of a time where she beat Court or
I feel like they fought last week, bro.
She beat Courtney Casey. That's the only
just been.
time.
I feel like she's always been in a crazy close fight. Like. Nope, she never gets dominated and never
she's been
dominates.
in the UFC since 2016, but that is crazy.
I got Jillian in this one, to be honest. I think I don't know why. I just JJ. I feel like always loses to people that are actually like kind of decent, except for Courtney Casey. She lost or she beat her, but
yeah, and she's kind of struggled with some of the wrestlers like Macy Barber, so. I think it could be kind of similar to that fight, where I think Jillian, in a little less aggressive of a style as Macy Barber did it, but I think she's going to be controlling, really get top position, and kind of work from that. And I just love betting on Canadian fighters.
I mean, her jiu-jitsu is going to be a problem. If Aldrich can hold up, then it'll make it a fight. If not, she's going night-night with some sort of submission.
Minus 132 for Robertson. Plus 105 for Aldrich. Like I said, Aldrich is always in a close fight, so I was figuring the odds would be close. I do like Jillian Robertson if you want by sub, get you a little extra juice, plus 180. Next
fight. We got Matthew Semmelsberger, 9-3, taking on AJ Fletcher, 9-0 in the welterweight division. What do we got?
Fletcher's another Contender Series guy, right?
This fight's weird. I don't know.
He had that flying knee. Yeah, that's it.
See,
this is one of those that I'm like, he could be the real deal, but I always question this, and I probably won't bet. I probably won't bet this fight, or I won't bet on AJ Fletcher yet, because these are the guys who scare me, who he fought for 2.5 minutes, and we gave him a contract. I know I'm not saying that his record isn't, he's had 9 fights. He's 9-0. Like, I'm not disrespecting his record. But for these eyeballs have seen him for 2.5 minutes. He hit a sick flying knee. He put the guy's lights out. I don't really know who the fucking guy was. And Matt Semmelsberger. Yeah, let's do a little research on this.
Gladiators Academy?
Out of Louisiana.
For who?
Baton Rouge. Actually, It's funny. Ton Lee is from Louisiana, so Dustin Poirier gave him a shout out on Twitter, and during the press conference, like they asked him about it, he was like, "Oh, that's great! Like us Louisiana boys give him love." So he said, "Good luck to AJ," and I was like, "Who's AJ?" So now I know who AJ is. So now I'm kind of leaning AJ just because I
right,
was
Louisiana boys. Like we just ride with the dirty swamp.
Right. Like he's been around. I mean, he's only 9-3, but he's at least had some like real UFC.
Yeah, but his nickname's Semi the Jedi.
Yeah, no.
And honestly, when I read his name, I always just think Smelly's Burger.
Smelly's Burger.
I don't think this fight goes the distance.
Probably not.
I think that would be my bet on this one.
Yeah. Fight not to go the distance minus 240. Understandably. Well, if you think it's going to be quick, under 1.5 rounds would be plus 115. But that's quick for not a lot of juice.
I'm not that smart.
No, that's when you got to start doing math and stuff. You're like, how much is half a round?
All right. I feel like we can slow it down a little now in pace for these fights coming up.
Well, the perfect guy to slow it down on.
Bruno Silva, 22-6. Are you the good Bruno or the bad Bruno? I don't know which one you are, but I don't really care.
Blindado, our boy.
All right.
The good Bruno.
This is the new guy. This is the new one, right?
Yes. Taking on Israel Adesanya's father, Alex Pereira. 4-1. Two Brazilians go strike, and they go fight and throw hammers. And this is going to be an exciting fight. What do we got?
Man, honestly, I think it's going to be
Kevin Lee making his way to the ring. Eagle FC, by the way.
I think Pereira's got it. He's so big for that division. I think because we just saw Bruno Silva get wobbled by fucking what's his name, Jordan Wright that first round. I remember he got rocked for a second. I'm like, oh shit, are you gonna lose to Jordan Wright right now? Because I had a lot of money on Bruno Silva.
And then he put him out in 1:36.
He did. Don't get me wrong, he did. But
sure.
if he can get caught by Jordan Wright like that, I think Alex Pereira can finish the job. Unfortunately.
I am disgusted in you, Matty P. You were the guy. You were the one who was like, no, we need to put respect on the right Bruno Silva's name, and this podcast is all about Blindado Silva. So we are riding. I am all in on fucking Blindado until we can.
All right. Well, I won't bet on it for that reason.
But
Alex Pereira is a minus 182 favorite.
What is Alex Pereira by knockout? He's going to hit him with some fucking boom, boom, flying knee.
Left hook.
Left.
Wow,
right,
Pereira by knockout, minus 143.
I might have to sprinkle a little on that shit, to be real.
Bruno Silva by knockout, plus 215.
All right. We're good on that.
Next fight.
Kind of shocked they made this. Drew Dober, 23-11, taking on Terrence McKinney, 12-3, lightweight division. Why do you love this fight, Matty P? Talk to me.
Man, well, Drew Dober is an explosive striker, man. He comes out to brawl. Terrence McKinney is a fast twitch. He loves to come out and brawl, but he's a great wrestler too. And I like that it's on short notice. McKinney stayed ready. And he has that confidence with him right now because he's just finished 2 dudes right away. And I don't know. I just don't know what to expect from this fight, and that's why I like it. I probably won't be betting much on it, but that's why I like this because I don't know what's going to happen.
What are you thinking now? Because you look like you had some thoughts on your mind.
Yeah, honestly, this fight kind of trips me out. It seems like a big reach for Terrence McKinney to be like couple fights hot like thing to just go get like Drew Dober. No?
See, my opinion on that is
like this seems like too much. And Drew Dober's a unit, bro. He's gonna walk. All right, that changes things. Short notice. Didn't realize
second that. Off, you know what I kind of think it is like T-Rex got some momentum, and he won't shut the fuck up on Twitter, and he's talking like he's the man. And Drew Dober is kind of the perfect guy that the UFC is like, you know what? You think you the man? All right.
Let's see
it, because we know Drew Dober is a fucking dude. Like, that's a guy. So if you really think you with the shits, like, all right, T-Rex, you've been
Bro,
tweaking
Drew
a lot.
Dober's going to walk around at 180 something pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And then cut down. I think he's going to be way too much to take him down. But as much as I think that, then it's going to be like T-Rex with the lightning fast left hand KO in like 25.
Right.
So I don't know where I stand on this fight. I'm kind of shocked they made it, but like I could see Dober dominating. I could see a McKinney quick knockout. I don't know where to be. But I kind of lean Dober by decision. I don't know if I made any sense there, but
yeah. That's the thing where like you're like, oh, it's disrespectful, but even in the odds, Drew Dober is only a -162 favorite.
All right, we're underway for
Plus
Kevin Lee
130
versus
for
Diego Sanchez. Eagle.
Oh, I'm already a minute in over here.
All right, well, we're 10 seconds in. Don't spoil the party.
Hey, I signed up for a Go Flex account, and now I'm getting a minute later. What fucking Russian bullshit is this? Oh, God, we're going to be put on a list.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee looks big for Kevin Lee.
Well, it's 165. That's
Diego-
his division.
Diego
It's super
Sanchez looks-
lightweight, 165.
Diego Sanchez is looking like an uncle at the barbecue right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
He looks
God.
like Drew Dober's uncle.
Oh, my goodness.
He looks like the conspiracy uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's fun to talk to that uncle after like 3 drinks, but 5, like, avoid him at all costs.
He looks like the uncle where you have to like walk away from his conversation because he won't stop.
Exactly. Like, you think he's going to talk about Area 51, but he's the uncle that thinks even Area 51's bullshit. It's actually Area 53. Like,
But yeah, he knows way too much about things that nobody really knows about.
mm-hmm.
I'm down to take this short little break and watch this thing.
Right? That's kind of
Yeah, we just kind of like, this fight, like, fuck it.
I don't
Right
think
before
it'll
the
last
main
that
card,
long.
pretty much.
So
No, I don't. That's why I'm kind of like, let's get this quick reaction. Can you
I'll
roll
try
up
to
real
I'll try
quick?
to hide my reaction if anything happens.
All right,
For
cool.
sure. I mean, Kevin Lee's completely dominating the center of the circle.
Yeah,
here.
he's just backing Diego Sanchez up and giving a little bit of feints and just coming in and landing. And Diego Sanchez is just continually circling.
Is
That-
this
that is what this fight is.
Do
What's
they
up?
have belts?
There are belts in this. It might be for the belt. I think they're trying to build the 165 division, so this would be a good way to start it. To be honest, like
Makes sense.
You
Yeah,
gotta
at least
start
just put a someone at the champ, and then they
Correct.
at least have a target.
somebody will call him out, like,
Right.
and then at that point you can make an offer or not, like.
Right.
But yeah, they're trying to build this 165.
I'm gonna be real. This is an ugly fucking fight.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'm trying to be like hype on the reactions and stuff. Like, the last fight was pretty electric, but like this is
No.
pretty fucking ugly. These
Oh,
are,
this
like,
reminds
two
me
wash
because
feuds.
Kevin Lee's last UFC opponent, D-Rod, Kevin Holland called out D-Rod.
Ooh, I'd love that fight, and that's kind of where I'm starting to love Kevin Holland.
Ooh.
Where like
He makes
He's
sense
like-
with this fight.
He's got a
yeah,
triangle leg
exactly.
lock,
Like
and
he
Kevin
seems like
Lee's
he's kind
teeing
of
off
building
right
the
here.
right way, where he's an electric enough personality that he has fandoms. He's probably getting a little extra in the in his next contract and stuff. But he's not just that guy who's just like, yo, bro, I'm here, giving the number one fight. Now, if someone drops out of the number one fight and you need someone there, you know who to call. Yeah, I'll take anything. But at the same time, he's the smart one who's going to take one on short
Kevin
notice
Lee's
and be
absolutely
like,
dominating
actually,
this
this
fight.
is a
About to
good
slide into
matchup.
full mount. Now
Ooh.
it's Reigns.
This is a
Took the
bad
back.
spot for
Uh-oh.
44-year-old Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, one hook in. He's trying to
One
settle
hook.
the other
If
one.
he gets that second one,
It's
big.
But
done.
Diego is also that uncle that has a chin for no reason, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's the uncle that will like fall down drunk on down the stairs and just like pop up, and it's like, how the fuck is he good?
Kevin Lee about to backpack him on the back, put in these chokes, and
He's
call
only
it
got a
a
minute
day.
to
That's what
work,
he's
and he
going
seems a
for.
little high.
Yeah.
And Matty P hasn't reacted yet, so
No.
Matty P's either a good actor or he gets saved by the bell here.
He gets saved by the bell.
Yeah, he's way too high. He doesn't have the hook set.
Just start
He's
raining
nuts.
on this dude.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, You got a 44-year-old.
got his leg.
Oh, that leg though.
Hey
Ooh,
now.
slipped out.
Dude, just fucking KO this guy, bro. What are you doing?
I mean, I will say, 13 years ago? I think it's to the day.
All right, let's casually talk this next fight while we talk this one.
Oh, I was about to talk Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez.
Oh, it's 13 years to the day?
Yeah, it was either today or yesterday. I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, wait, what now?
Let me get
honestly, that fight, like, basically made me an MMA fan forever. Like, after that fight, I was like, this sport's sick. Like, I watched a little bit when I was younger because it was like, 2010? So I was like a sophomore in high school or something. So I watched a little bit back in the day. But after that fight was when I was like, yo, like, I need to know about this shit. I need to get into this shit. Like, what's this fucking about? Like, I watched that fight. And it was also one of those, because I believe it was on Spike TV at that point. So it was kind of almost a half like taboo. Like, yo, I found some crazy fighting shit on like cable. Like, all right, turn down the volume. Don't let my mom see it. But like, let's watch people kill each other. And then I still will stand that that's one of the greatest mixed martial art fights of all time.
You know what's hilarious is Diego Sanchez used to follow me.
And no way.
And then he blocked me.
Damn.
And I think it was because I was roasting that old coach he had.
Oh, yeah.
Who wasn't at that time? It was hilarious.
Josh something.
And I was retweeting all the funny memes, and I think he blocked me. No, he did block me. I don't think. I know. He blocked me.
Yeah, you know he blocked you.
Because I remember people were tweeting like, oh, Diego Sanchez said this crazy shit. I'm like, why don't I see it? And then I went to his profile. It's like, you've been blocked. You can't see any of this shit.
You're like, damn.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
All right, so yo, if Khalil Roundtree was 9-5 and he fought Carl Robinson, who was 9-4 in the lightweight division, who would win?
If they fought,
if that was hypothetically a fight happening like tomorrow in like 18 hours, who would you take?
I lean Roberson because I don't know what the hell Khalil's on. Like, sometimes he looks like a world beater, and then sometimes it's like, bro, what?
I couldn't agree more, bro. But that's my guy, so I just like got to ride.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't agree more,
he's
bro.
Like pushing a clothing brand hella hard now. He has his own businesses. And I'm like, are you doing that? Because Roberson's not.
Yeah. It's like some days he eats his Wheaties and like takes his Adderall, and some days he doesn't. Like you know, and it's just like fuck. Like, what Khalil are we gonna get? Like, did he take Adderall? Is he locked in?
Honestly,
I think I'm gonna Eric Anders. Yes.
Yeah, that's that's a world beater, 100%.
But I think we just tweet at a Hickman and see what we can get for information, and if it's convincing, you bet Roundtree. If it's not,
but the striking guy Johnny Boy's out here because someone else on this card that's fighting later has also been training at Tiger.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, if the Tiger coaches confirm, I'll bet on Khalil. If they don't on Twitter, I'm betting Carl.
I mean, yeah, when he looked his best, he had a certain few guys in his corner. If they're in his corner, I'll take them. If not, probably not.
No doubt. Next fight.
We got Alex Caceres, 19-12, taking on Sadiq Youssef, 11-2 in the featherweight division. The hell's going on here?
Oh my god!
I don't know. I mean, I like Sadiq.
I bet against Bruce Leroy on his last like 5 fights and lost. This makes so much sense in my head. I'm like, oh, Sadiq's gonna wrestle fuck him and win, no doubt. And then I'm like, I'm
which
gonna
means the +2 or +195. Alex Caceres is definitely taking this somehow, some way, slick, grindly, just.
But no, I still am gonna.
But no, I think Sadiq's a pretty exciting prospect. This is one of those matchups where I would kind of like to see him let his hands go a little more and see what he has in that. Obviously, he's going to probably lean on his wrestling, especially the longer the fight goes. But I don't know. Bruce Leroy, like, he's a slick striker, but he's going to give you opportunities to, to strike with him. And just, I want to see a more well-rounded game out of Sadiq, and I think he's a young prospect that, hopefully will be adding that to his game.
Yeah, I'm keeping this out of my parlays for sure because I'm sick of losing money because of Bruce Leroy. Because I do like him. He has a cool nickname.
Yeah.
He's got the cool throw going on, and I do like going for him. But
I feel like he's one of those guys that once you start buying in and betting on him, that's when you start losing too.
It's like roulette when there's like
he's seriously on a 6-fight winning streak right now.
Who is?
Bruce Leroy on a 6-fight winning streak.
Bro, tell me it's not just like roulette when it hits 7 reds in a row and you're like, it's got to go black. It's got to go black.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been betting black the last 3 times. So if I switch now, I'm fucked.
So I haven't been riding the wave, so I got to keep going against the wave. I'm going with Sadiq on this one.
Damn. Would he be Chase Hooper? Oh, fuck. This is tougher.
I'm going Sadiq. I think you got the power.
Yeah.
Now, Caceres is probably going to take him down and control him, and that's probably how this fight's going to go. Decision by Caceres is probably the way to be. But I think fucking...
Sadiq's wrestling is his bread and butter, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
But I thought he's known for his power, no? Why did he lose to Arnold Allen by unanimous? Was he out?
Because Arnold Allen's nasty.
But, I thought that...
And that was a close fight, I felt like.
Yeah, but, he definitely does have some power because Sadiq by decision is plus 130, but Sadiq by knockouts plus 185. So he definitely has some power in there.
What is Alex Caceres by decision?
Plus 450. There's some juice there.
I think Alex Caceres wins by decision. Can't you see that? He was too good at the wrestler. He was aggressive.
And you know
he dragged
what?
him down.
I don't want to use
you see that?
Matty Peace.
20-12, 11-3 is fucking blitties.
Yep.
2012 was a good year, bro.
We need to start keeping track of those to see if
Did we get
Let's see if that does
did we ever
anything.
find Coney?
No.
Oh shit.
So it wasn't a good
We
year.
bought the t-shirt though.
And some.
Oh Jesus. Next fight.
Next fight, co-main event. Talk about a guy who was training at Tiger. Marlon Moraes, 23-9-1, taking on Song Yadong, 18-6-1. This is a great fight in the bantamweight division for co-main event. Marlon Moraes was taking it now out to Phuket and training at Tiger Muay Thai, trying to get his Muay Thai going. And I love that look from him. I think it's a great move. And I'm excited to see how it pays out in the octagon against the guy who has a pistol of a right hand in Song Yadong. No, he hasn't done anything in this fight.
I think the odds got to go to Song Yadong on this, but just just based on their their streaks they're on,
Run form, yeah.
All right. Well, then, since both of you are kind of off it, let's play Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Oh, it's
let's guess the line.
Song's got to be a favorite. I don't know about how much, but he's got to be a favorite.
Give me a number.
I would say Moraes has got to be a 180 favorite.
I would say, I would say Song's got. I think Song's a heavy. I would say -2.
-278 for Song Yadong.
Damn,
that just seems a little too much juice.
Hey, good shit.
They got to give Moraes more respect than that. That's too much.
That's kind of how I was feeling.
That's kind of what I'm feeling.
For that type of juice and the fact that he has been training out with Fiziev and stuff, that sounds like
but the gas
veteran.
Tank, you can't fix that gas tank. If it gets
past the chin.
If you can fix a gas tank anywhere in the world, it's Tiger Muay Thai. They be running on those mountains. They be doing those crazy shits. I don't know if he's been there long enough.
But he just
holds the chin of Moraes.
He needs to go up the division. He needs to go up to 145 because he holds too much muscle, and then the muscle needs that blood and the oxygen, and it just takes too much. I think.
Yeah, but I could see that just bop. That
I could too. I'm not going to be betting heavy on Song at all. If anything, I'll probably take a Marlon finish just as a single off bet just for the juice.
Marlon by KO is +600.
Oh, I love that. I still think Song should be the favorite here, but I do. That's good.
Song by knockout would be -115.
Kevin Lee is just piecing Diego Sanchez.
And that's kind of interesting because that's kind of how the odds are going is sort of how I see the fight. over 1.5 rounds is a slight favorite, minus 134. I do think it will get into the second or third round, but not to go the distance is minus 250. I do think it will get finished somewhere in that second or third round. I think Song's going to go for it, but in those moments, I think that's where Marlon could counter-strike him at. There's still opportunities for Marlon. But I do agree that gas tank should probably be a problem later in the fight. And then the main event, let's get into it.
This is then
we got Thiago Santos, 22-9 out of Brazil, taking on Magomed Ankalaev, 16-1 out of Russia in the light heavyweight division. Matty P, I heard you whisper it's damn near a lock. Let me hear that explanation.
I think Ankalaev inside the distance via ground and pound. I don't know which round. I would probably say around the second or third.
I couldn't agree more. Is that sad?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out like some sort of spin zone where we're like, nah, Russia's going to lose, but Ankalaev by knockout plus 110. Smart.
Yeah, I see ground and pound, man.
Yeah, minus 625 for the actual money line.
Holy shit.
And I mean, Thiago Santos by knockout plus 700.
There's always choosing.
I think that's going to, ideally, let's assume this goes well. I could see Ankalaev by knockout being the end of some of my parlays. Like last leg, like, oh, if this hits, I'm up fucking couple hundred or something. And I could see myself being like, all right, 10 or 20 on Thiago by knockout, just in case.
Yeah, but definitely.
I do think, like you said, it's just going to be a smothering, and he's just going to rain on him.
Bro, is it all right? Back to the Lee and Sanchez fight. Is it a knock on Lee for not being able to finish Sanchez?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way he looks, yeah, certainly. And the way you
But it's also yeah, you gotta finish this. I'm just seeing that. Yeah, you gotta finish this old man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him like credit for like, dude, it's Diego Sanchez, like Clay Guida didn't finish him, like but that was fucking 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that is not even the same guy. Like
no.
If this is Diego Sanchez's son on some like Rey Mysterio, Dom Mysterio type shit, then maybe I'd give Kevin Lee some credit, but this is a shell of Diego Sanchez.
Like, I would have lost a lot of money if I bet on this because I would have for sure said Kevin Lee inside the distance.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That's not impressive to me.
No. And that's kind of why, like, Neil was like, oh, you're shitting on Eagle FC. But I was like, this is their main event.
I mean, it got
No, I mean,
You got me. You got me. And with that note, I'm fucking out. See ya.
Much love. We out.